Hello friends, my name is Renuka and welcome back to my one kit and 10 and more cards. And this is Hero Art Kits, and we already made some ornaments with this. Now it's time to make the cards with the kit. Now this kit came with these papers, and this is really heavyweight paper, the sky blue and the red one. And this is little lighter weight paper having snowflakes design. So first I want to cut this paper in half. I'm not using these papers for a card base. I will use these for front of my card. So this is like 8.5. So we'll cut this in a 4.25. And after cutting that, you need to have the normal A2 size card base to put this on. So for example, I have this card base and it can cover the whole surface of A2 card. So this kit came with a big die of the ornament, and it also came with those small dies which decorate those ornaments. So now I'll use all of them. If you watch my previous video, you can see that I made these ornaments, and I made these with the pattern paper. Now what if you want to send them someone? So you can fold this in a different ways so that you can put these in the card. So why I choose these pattern paper? Because these are matching colors with this. So now afterwards I'll speed up the process a little bit. So now I'm using here coordination card and envelope set for my card bases, and I'm using Simon Says rectangle, stitch rectangle, the bigger die, to cut out the front of these papers, and I will put the outside stitch border to decorate the inside of my card. So I'll get the matching border inside too, because this cardstock is too precious and too glittery, so I like to use that. Now I'm using those dies, the triangular dies which came with the kit, and I'm trying to adjust them on a one panel. And you can see that the middle die I'll just put little bit upper side. Here I'm kind of creating a window, and then I'm again putting this small ornament dies on the another cardstock. So I just go through the die cutting machine, and now you can see that I want 3 ornaments here. The circular ornament I want one more time, so I just add that, because always 3 looks nice on the card. 3 or 5 odd numbers looks nice. Now I'm deciding to add some kind of thread or ribbon here, so I am just switching with the things. I want to stamp the love, peace and joy sentiment on this cardstock. Basically I choose this sentiment, and I don't want to use Misty here. I just want to show you how you can perfect your stamping by using this embossing pen. Now where I'm embossing, I use my static powder. Still I didn't get a proper impression here, so now I'm using that embossing pen and just correcting where I want to add little bit more, and adding little dots and stars to the cardstock, so to get the more snow or the starry look to it. Now I'm hitting it to just with a heat gun. Now I want to add the ribbon bow to this. I'm using here organza ribbon. You can buy this from Michael's or online anywhere where you get the cheaper deal. Now I'm making kind of small bows here for those ornaments, and I will use the same ribbon for the hanging those ornaments. Now this ribbon is not included in your kit, but this kit is always came with the packing, and that packing is lastly decorated with the satin ribbon. So if you don't have this ribbon, you can use that ribbon. Most of the times it comes in a blue or red color. Here I am using the golden shimmer yellow color ribbon, and I make the 3 bows out of that, and these bows are pretty small. This so that they will look nice in the scale of the ornament. Now I'm using the same ribbon, and by using the scotch tape I just want to secure them on the back side of the card base. so it will look like that those ornaments are hanging over there. And after that I'll just want to stretch those and see where everything goes properly. Now before adding anything else like acetate or that, I just want to place the position of those ornaments. So I use a pencil and mark those position because we are making window here, and then I put that acetate. Now I want to make the a small uh, space around those ornaments where I can put those small bits. And these bits came in this, not in this kit but the last month kits, the snow globe kit, but I'm using there here because those are really nice white bits and those will go perfectly with this ornament. So I'm just placing here and there the tape for adjusting the shape of it, and I mostly go outside of the shape so that it will not show through my cart window. And I'm doubling up the tape cause I want a really nice shaker. You can add only one layer of foam tape here, but I'm using 2 layers. Now I'll add those shakers and just put those panel on it, kind of adjusting a little bit here and there so it will not show outside the panel. And after that I will just use the glue dots to place those bows here, and this will complete this snow shake, actually basically the ornament shaker card. Now for the second card, whatever we die cut first, I want to add little bit of behind that window. You can put that window as it is, but I decided to add those small volume paper here. And this is the ornament which I made from the same kit, and I put little bit tape there, score tape, but I didn't put all ornament together. I just write down how to remove that tape and put on which side, and then I add a little right thread to it and just close up that whole ornament in like a diamond shape. So here I am planning to put that ornament on this front of the card shape. So I add little bit of volume, golden volume to it, and after that I decided to add a belly band to the front of that card base, and I use the volume paper, which is a really heavy thick volume paper, came in a card kit. And then I will stamp this Merry Christmas sentiment here, and I'm just testing out this sentiment in back of my card, that how it looks, and it looks really nice. But somehow you can see that I smear off that sentiment and how I fix that afterwards. So after doing that, I just add a little banner and I put the same sentiment on there, and I decided to add foam tape. So here I'm using fun foam and I put that on the already stamped sentiment. Now I think that this belly is a little bit blind, so I use those swirls and I stamp those with the golden ink. And by the way, I'm using color box inks. Now this is the second ornament. If you watch my first how to make ornaments, you can understand that how I make that, and you can watch there how I made those ornaments with the pattern paper. And then I add little bit of more interest to them, so I add that small ornaments on the sky blue color pattern paper. And now I'm using this again, the sky blue paper shimmery cardstock which came in a kit, to make my front of the card. And now here I'm stamping these trees by using those small triangular shapes, and here I'm using different colors which are not came in a kit, I'm using from my stash. And I'm kind of masking the upper portion of it so that it will not overlap the color. And I'm using here snowflakes triangle, and you can use any of those design. They came with the 3/4 pattern papers. And after that I decided to add a little bit more like a sentiment on the volume paper, but somehow it will lost in the design. So I decided to add the same pattern paper behind that sentiment so that it will look nice and same time it will look apart from the main card. I'm adding little bit stone here, and that snowflakes, you can see that snowflakes is dye is came in that kit. So after that I'm just adding a bow with a great satin ribbon which came in a kit, and I'm kind of tying the threads, and I just put all together and just hang that thing on the top of the card. Now you can see I stamped the squirrels on the four sides of it, and this like the recipient can open it like a gift and hang those ornament on their Christmas trees. Now for this I decided to make one Christmas tree, and I use those triangular shape stamping on these die cuts, and I just decided to use that berry stamp all over it, and I use my Misty because it's not stamping properly, so I decided to use Misty. And after that I just add little bit of color box golden ink here all over to make that stamping. And when my tree is totally stamped, I decided to stick that tree on this red cardstock. So I'm preparing the side of it by using same color box golden ink, and then I put that tree on the front of that red cardstock. Now here you can see this is more triangular, so I want more narrow base, so I decided to trim off little bit of the corners of the tree only on the one side, and then I'm happy with it. Then I'm kind of playing with it that should I add those ornaments or not, and then I realized that those ornaments are quite big, so I decided not to add them, but I add one of the star from those die cuts, and then I want to make my gifts with that set. So that set come with one solid and one rectangle, so I'm kind of stamping them and seeing them that how they look together, and then I decided that if I want to do that I should stamp them alone, because together they are kind of not overlapping with each other. So I'm kind of playing with those and seeing that how they look together, and just kind of making different shapes out of them. And I'm using the same colors whichever I have on my desk, like green, red, and the sky blue color. So after that I decided to just go with the different colors and add the main what can the stack of the gift stocks in front of the tree. So I used then my distress ink and just color them and I cut out them. First of all I decided to put those loops on it, and then I decided that white is kind of peeking off. I don't like that white, so I just cut off those, and then I'll stack those all over. I'm just using again the distraction, and here I'm using Mouvlon and Cadiant Apple, the red and green inks, and stamping all the stuff on them, and then kind of fuzzy cut out them and put those together. Here I'm using Tombow Mono glue for gluing them together, and I'm kind of just making a stack on the one corner of the tree, so that it looks like the gifts are all around the trees. And I don't want to add any sentiment here basically, because there are too much going on. I don't want to distract with the sentiment, and you can see it's a gifts and Christmas tree, so obviously it's Christmas. Now I still want that ribbon there, so I use here my 3D accent. You can use the enamel dots, or you can use the enamel accent, sorry, or the Nouveau Clear for this. Now I'm kind of stamping here my ornaments by using the swirls on those, and those are kind of hanging from all over. So I didn't get a small ornament, so here I'm a little bit cheating and I'm using a different ornaments stamp from the Hero Arts itself. And I used little bit of white gel pen to add the more detail to it, because those are kind of lost in there. So I decided to add which stamp it will go, so I just make a dots with the white gel pen here and there to make that ornament rather than using the another stamp kit. Now I'll stamp I just adding this sentiment with the first of the card. Now you can see that I have this third card base with me, and I'm kind of drawing my layout directly on it, because I'm using here the inlay technique with those small triangles and the ornaments, and I will tag it out all of them, and then I'll use the different paper for that, because it's inlay technique. And for this triangular dara, I goes just like 3 times, and I'm kind of making the wonky tree here, so it will not line up like perfect. And then I decided that what should I put inside. So for tree I go for green, and for the ornaments I use the purple and magenta color. And this is the snow glitter, the snow paint I have, and it is just like you have to put this paint and just dry it up and little bit put heat on it, so it will look like a snow. So I made a snow hill there, and I add little bit shimmer and glitter after that. So in the last kit, this came with the snow, and I have lots of left over with this, so I decided to add that snow on these trees. And for gluing them, I used the stickers which also came in a tree for the last month. And for decorating those small ornaments, I use just my white gel pen, which not include in tree. I use that most often. So after that, I just put all these things aside, because it will took little time to dry, and I just jump over to the next card. Now I have this left over from the die cutting out, so I want to use them, so I just rubbing off those pencil lines there, and I will make the same kind of wonky tree here, but I just want to show you a different kind of look. So I add little bit blue colors to them. You can use any ink. I'm using here dye ink, and then I use a silver for that green one, because I want one tall and one small tree. Now here I'm kind of creating background with those leafy vine, and I just want to hang them from upside to down. And then I will the same way I will create the hill also. And for hill I just use my pencil and pen and create one kind of hill, and then just put them that paper by the use of post-it tape. And now you can see that I get the background here. And now I will just add those trees to the created background by using the foam tape. Now you can use the foam tape. I'm here using the fun foam, and now I just put the sentiment there, but somehow I decided that I want something more for that sentiment, because it is kind of looking same for the hill and those vines. So I again use one banner and cut the little strip, and again give little bit of dimension there, so that it will look nice and different on the card. And I'll put that aside and just working for the last card. And here I put lots of glue inside those triangles and those ornaments, and I add little bit of more glue, tombow mono glue, and just add those pieces, and they will fit apart just like that. And again make an banner and stamp those same Merry Christmas sentiment. And this Christmas sentiment is from the October kit of the Hero Arts, and then I add little bit of gems here and there. And then I decided to put the whole banner again on the same dark color cardstock. Now here I'm using that snowflakes die and cut out little bit of snowflakes and making that snowflakes little bit smaller flower, and put that on the top of the tree. And the same way I stamped the ornament are hanging on the silver thread by using the same shape of it. So I hope you enjoyed this project. So this completes today's 3 card. Maybe I'll add little bit of embellishment if I want to, means I'm not yet sure. Maybe I'll add little bit of embellishment to this card. And now you can see that how you can use this die cut for making these trees. However, these die cuts are made for making windows to the ornament, but at the same time you can use these small stamps which came gift in a kit for making gift boxes here, and I use this same die for making this big tree. And then we made this shaker card, ornament shaker card, and in this you can I showed you different ways of making this ornaments, and you can make more ornaments and just add the little belly band to the card, and you can send them through the mail, and you can add a post-it note if you want to, that how you can use these. And then another way of using putting this ornament together is this, so it can open like a gift box, and then they can put that ornament together, and these small round ornaments are hanging just like that. So we made 6 cards today. Now I'll post some more cards in the next video. I just want to make sure that this time I'll make some tags with this also, so maybe I'll make some less cards, because I already make 7 or 6, I don't know, more than that, the designs of ornament with this kit. And if you like my channel, please do subscribe to it. You can follow me on Facebook, Pinterest and Instagram also. You can follow me on my blog. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more crafty projects like this. So until the next project, have a crafty life. Bye bye.